Salutations again, my guys. We're back again building in Planet Coaster and Appalachian Adventure. We are working on doing backstage work, building backstage stuff. And as I've just meandered around this park file and realized this is probably the most incohesive Planet Coaster project on YouTube right now, what have we been missing? And that's kind of our mode of attack, just going forward, getting this park done. I want to hone in on what are things where I'm just looking around, what are we missing? And one thing we're missing, and one thing that I think is vital to maintaining a beautifully landscaped and themed Appalachian amusement park would be, we need a landscaping headquarters. Stuff like lean-tos with louvers that kind of deter water from getting in. Not like full-fledged warehouse buildings, kind of just a cover with some wooden kind of, well, they're called louvers. So that kind of stuff, building these mulch bins out of concrete and kind of, you have multiple bins to separate your materials. Whatever you want to landscape your Planet Coaster amusement park with is none of my business, but I think it is imperative that you have mulch bins. So we built some mulch bins, and it's really just kind of this small little section right here. It's kind of carved out a little back corner / wall of a pre-existing backstage area. We widened the backstage area a little bit and just make it feel more cohesive. What we had before was just like a little path, and that works, but practically speaking, you want, you know, this, ideally I would want my mulch to be close by and accessible. It is right there. So we added a little concrete pad because you don't want to be running big trucks and heavy machinery all over your asphalt and tearing it up. Asphalt is expensive. So we just threw down a concrete pad, mulch bins, lean-tos, lawnmowers, and some storage sheds. Outside of that, you really don't need a whole lot of infrastructure. I mean, I'm not going to be digging any trenches here and building piping and all that kind of stuff. So I just figured, let's keep the ball rolling here. Anytime something new comes up, let's just go ahead and cover it, make that content, and just really whore this stuff out for you guys. So the Planet Coaster grind is just, it's a non-stop, continuous train. Good to be back on the grind. I know I say that pretty much every damn video, but oh, by the way, 420 subscribers. We did surpass that. I was thinking of a way I could just meme the shit out of that, but I also then realized I'm an adult who's closer to 30 than I am 20, so I do appreciate the milestone. It's pretty neat. I know it's not a lot, but it is pretty kosher to have the modest following that we have built up over the past couple years, and I do love and appreciate every single one of you that have come and checked out these videos. I just don't want my appreciation for you taking time out of your day to go unnoticed. So I'm down. There's two options. We either barnstorm it to 1 million subscribers, or you get to watch the most slow burn recorded downward spiral. All right, I get it! Namaste, all that good stuff. Start working towards getting that RMC built. It's gonna look cool. I have a lot of cool ideas. We're gonna single-handedly, with our bare hands, create the best RMC in Planet Coaster YouTube history. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see, but it's coming up soon after we do the real-time overview here. Ciao for now. God damn it, fuck! So we're still at the front of the park. Most of the work that we have gone over is this right here. This would be the landscaping headquarters, and in the meantime, while I was kind of going through and editing this video and in my downtime, went ahead and went up skirt with the Emporium here. I'll lower that roof and we will get to that momentarily. I think where we need to start is right here at the front of the park. As those of you who are familiar with this project, this is the front entrance plaza from the parking lot, where you kind of begin your day, where you start your, well, adventures, if you will, if you feel so inclined. So you got the hospitality house here and daily tickets. We've been over this in the park overview before, so I'm not gonna address that too much. But where things can get a little dicey is it might look like that walkthrough isn't gonna suffice for backstage access to the entire damn landscaping headquarters. And there's two means of attacking that problem, and one is as simple as go f*** yourself, trucks do fit under it, one. And then two, we're probably gonna have to go ahead and carve out another backstage access point nearby this whole headquarters and stuff, because you do think maybe bigger trucks for deliveries of materials for our mulch bins and all that kind of stuff. That will probably get attacked in a later episode when we finally do go outside of the park boundaries and maybe finish up the parking lot. Who knows? But let's just start right over here. So this is the landscaping headquarters, and it's nestled behind Settlers Square and the park plaza. You can access it through these gates here, and that just cuts straight back past this event space, if you will, all that stuff. And you're right there at the landscaping headquarters. So like we had mentioned in the time lapse, these are the lean-tos, kind of. It's just a means of storage. You know, we have some TMTK lawnmowers right here at Nathan for scale, and in-game railroad ties are what we use, the locomotive track rails are what we used to create this kind of garage door looking thing. It's kind of bare-boned and maybe half-assed, but I do try to limit TMTK items when I can. Right next to that we have our mulch bins, and then another kind of shelter lean-to cover for trailers or whatever your little landscaping heart desires. So across the road we have the storage containers, which self-explanatory, more storage, and just a tiny little kind of trailer office where you would assume there's a laptop and bags of Ruffles chips laying around or whatever the hell. So behind that is just a kind of little gravel lot, and I just threw this together. Maybe they're cutting PVC pipe for a drainage project somewhere in the park. I don't know. But that is the landscaping headquarters. It's not a whole lot, but it is definitely something we needed, and I was just on a kick, man. I just felt like building a landscaping headquarters, so that's exactly what we did, and we're just going to keep pumping out this content. So this backstage road here loops all the way around the bear and back to this village scene for the Mothman, and all the way down to the transfer shed and the storage track before the second lift hill. So tried to cover all my bases on where you would need primary access for primary vehicular access, I guess, if you want to sound wordy, but that is what that is. And now the Emporium. So I've been meaning to get work done on this and actually do a full-fledged interior, because it is, you know, the aortic exit of the park. Like, that is where all the traffic is going to go. So what we did is we just pulled the roof up and kind of just started adding stuff until it looked like something. There's really no plan here, and I threw down some Nathans to give us some idea of space and what we can work with, and this actually ends up being a pretty big area, so I think we've got ample floor space to work with to add displays, shelves, all that kind of good stuff. And we got our checkout counter roughly set up, and we'll have screens with displays of pricing, maps, pictures, whatever, what have you, whatnot. And there's a functioning gift shop in here just for the love of the game, really. I mean, I want this to be functional to an extent. So it's just a bunch of scenery pieces, crates, Appalachian Adventure, barrels, flywheel, all that good stuff, and a random Civil War cannon. You know, we try to tie into the historic homage of the park to an extent, so felt like we could get away with some pirate pieces in here, and we just love the booty. So let me go ahead and sink this down real quick. Would you look at that? So with the roof down, it's just any other building, really. I mean, high ceilings kind of works. This upper level really only acts as storage. It's kind of what we're going for here. Like, this is just where they go ahead and throw stuff, and I figured they would need access from inside of the Emporium, so we just kind of threw up this little privacy wall that'll be employee access only, and that leads to under this where these stairs up here would come up. And we kind of got lazy, like we're not actually doing interiors, we just threw down a couple steps and then some black art pieces to black it out a little bit. But this kind of level underneath would be administrative stuff, because it does link up to this back building right here, which acts as administrations and stuff, and employee onboarding, human resources, all that jazz. Again, looking for loose pieces, trying to create some sembiance in all the chaotic building that has been going on in this park for the past couple of years, and it's just a bare bones little exit out the rear end of the building, so not a whole lot. And off to the side here would be either some sort of disability access and or a gold/premium season pass membership, kind of expedited entrance through security, so you don't have to walk all the way down the hill past the lake and through these main security gates right here. So that stays. We're going to go ahead and keep that little side entrance. And I guess if you pass through security and you're like, oh, damn, I forgot something in my car, you can just bang a left right there and you're back up the parking lot in no time. So kind of all works out perfectly logistically to an extent. So the Emporium and our landscaping headquarters kind of just tying in the necessities into Settlers Square and all that good jazz. I always think there's more I can add to this section of the park, and there is, and throughout I will just pepper in some more scenery and such here, but I think for the most part, the main central entrance hub area, both this plaza off the parking lot, down into the security plaza, through the gates and turnstiles into Settlers Square, I think that is done. There's really no more work that we're going to be doing up in the front. And I guess I'm trying to go in some sort of sequential order because from here is where things will get very interesting. But first, I'm going to go ahead and jump into TEGIDCAM and we'll go ahead and look at these two little projects real quick, and then we will discuss this thing over here. Okay? Okay. So out here in the parking lot with arguably some of the coolest skylines you're going to see in Planet Coaster, but I digress. Go ahead and cross the road here. You are officially in the entrance plaza. Grab your tickets if they aren't already on your phone. What are you doing with your life? It is 2024. Past the hospitality house, which is, again, just more guest accommodations, guest services. Go ahead and buy your bypasses here and all that good stuff. And our truck that clearly fits under this overhang, so I don't want to hear anything about no access. Get rid of that real quick. Walk down through here. And we're just going to cut through these gates into the backstage event space and go check in on our landscaping buddies. They are chilling and the vibe is good. So just kind of giving you some more scale and ground views of all this noise. And of course there's a cool skyline leading up to the skyrocket. I intentionally did that because I knew I needed to film some really nice cinematics for this. That's kind of a lie. This all did work out perfectly and beautifully without any external factors, like, I don't fucking know where I'm going with this. Regardless, this did turn out a lot better than I thought it would. And just trying to keep some cohesion here in the backstage area. So, you know, you can grab your lawnmowers, grab your mulch, grab your trucks, all that good stuff. And you can head out into the park, which we are going to do. So, again, just very simple, nothing insane here. These are just concrete. Which pieces are these? These are just the concrete columns. Very simple, very vanilla, the way we like it. So go ahead and pass all this. We cleaned up more of this backstage area, made it one wide path, threw in some seating for employees on break and all that. But it does provide for some pretty cool views of the skyrocket, which I don't think we're going to do like an overview and a POV release of that. I'm trying to do that with every coaster in this park, but I don't really think it's necessary for that. You all know what a skyrocket 2 is. That is that. So there's access out of the backstage area right here, and boom, we are back in Minetown. So there is some how this relates to the last episode, which was Minetown. Boom, there it is. That's all you need. So we'll bang a left, come out the back end of Settlers Square. We still got the Settlers Shithouse, and we still have Settlers Grill right here, which, you know, we could probably get away with a new interior here. It is kind of blech, but it's something for now. Maybe we'll get into that, but I want to work towards the back of the park, so we're gonna do that. But first, we're gonna go into the Grand Old Emporium. If you're exiting the park, you just walk straight through. It's that simple. Now we're gonna place down shelves and display units that make it incredibly difficult for you to beam a straight line out of the park and into the car park. But essentially, you just walk straight through and you're out, and well, that's your day at App Adventure. So I think this won't be a designated video. I'll just go ahead and get this done, and in the meantime, in between other kind of projects in Appalachian Adventure, and we'll touch base with this eventually. But what I really want to work towards, and I could just do it, but I'm also holding my ass to the fire a little bit to where I want to work back towards the Wendigo And before we jump into RMC-ing that, just kind of tie up every loose end we can working towards it, because kind of getting over the whole jumping around all over the map thing, it's just makes it more of a headache to kind of keep track of what you're doing. So what we can expect, maybe not this episode or this next episode, but an episode or two from now, we will definitely be jumping back into the whole roller coaster grind. But one thing that did happen is there was a building here that was kind of a restaurant type thing, and we tore it out, and I can't remember exactly why, but this is some open space I think we can work with and create a new building, and I don't know, maybe like a bar or something adulty like that, but that'll be done on the way to the Wendigo. And maybe redo the train station at some point, but that is, honestly, that's probably coming sooner than later. But again, that is not the focal point. And it appears a fence and a sign showed up. Don't worry about this. Seriously, look, I'll level with you. This ride would not exist in real life. I made this for content, only as a means to come back on a high note. TBH, kinda worked. Cool shit. Now we can RMC this cancer of a ride and carry on with our damn lives, thanks. So, cryptic messages from park management on what is going here, and it kind of sucks because, as true as that is, I did kind of just throw this ride up as a means to, like, I need something different to put out on YouTube when we mount this comeback, and this ride has actually grown on me to an unhealthy degree. Like, I actually love this coaster, but all good things must come to an end. If it was a real coaster, it would probably just be a hellacious nightmare to maintain and just a lawsuit and liability for heads and backs up and down the East Coast. So we will RMC it. That's going to get very interesting very soon. So for now, it sticks, and it acts as a pretty cool lawn ornament. So yeah. Oh, and one thing we're going to kind of like toy with is this fence is way closer than it realistically would be, I guess. Maybe not, but it does fence off this historic Norfolk and Western caboose and the restrooms, and it's always going to be kind of just to kind of create some more online chatter for the coaster enthusiasts or theme park enthusiasts to go, are they getting rid of the caboose? Well, you're never going to know until this fence comes down, because we're keeping our lips sealed on this entire project. It'll probably make a comeback, and it'll probably be functioning and indoorsy, realistically speaking, but for the sake of lore, story time, and just keeping this thing fun, you have no idea if the caboose is going to get the axe or not. And that pisses a lot of people off. And that gets my rocks off. So, you know, everybody kind of wins here, but except for the Wendigo, because the Wendigo is going to be Wendigone. Stay tuned for more. Like, comment, subscribe. Cool, fun stuff on the horizon, you guys. Appreciate all the love and traction the videos have been getting. And I will see y'all maybe next week. Maybe in 2 weeks. Probably won't be 5 months, but might be a little bit. Anyway, stay healthy. Stay alive. I love you. Bye-bye.